Around 585 BC, in the Greek trading city of Miletus, a man looked at rock, fire, flesh, air, sea, and bone, and said, "Everything is water." Resist the urge to laugh, because you're being invited to laugh at the wrong thing. What matters is not his answer. It is the shape of his answer, and the shape is a revolution. He was hunting an arch, beginning origin. First principle, the thing that governs. It is the root under archaic, under monarch, under architect. Beneath the many, is there one? And is it something you could point at? Three things in that are radical. First, unity. The world presents as irreducibly various, and he refused to accept the variety as final. Underneath the catalogue, one thing wearing different costumes. Second, naturalism. Before Thales, the account of why the world does what it does was a story about who. Gods with intentions, quarrels, appetites. His answer contains no gods at all, not because he had disproved them, but because he had changed the question. From who is doing this to us to what is this made of? The men who followed him were called physiologoi, those who give an account of nature. Physis, that is where the word physics comes from. Third, he made a hypothesis, a claim precise enough to be wrong, and therefore precise enough to be argued with. And here is the proof that he founded something rather than merely asserted something. His own students immediately disagreed with him. Anaximander said it cannot be any familiar substance at all, something boundless, the apeiron. Anaximenes said air. Heraclitus later would say fire. That is not a school falling apart. That is a research program starting up. Three men disagreeing productively about one well-posed question is worth more than one man being accidentally right. And water is not a stupid guess. It was the only substance he could watch inhabit all three states: ice, liquid, steam. It transforms while remaining itself, which is exactly the property a universal substrate needs. He measured the height of a pyramid from the length of its shadow. His theorem is still taught in schools. And Herodotus says he predicted the solar eclipse of 585 BC, which stopped a battle between the Lydians and the Medes. Historians doubt that last one. A true eclipse prediction needs more than the Babylonian cycle records he could plausibly have reached. That story is probably later admiration hardening into legend. Now the handoff. He asked, "What is everything made of?" And over the next 26 centuries, almost nobody changes the grammar of that question. They just replace the noun. Water, air, fire, the boundless, atoms and void, the four elements, the chemical elements, protons, neutrons and electrons, quarks and leptons, quantum fields, question mark. This book's answer goes in that final slot. Quantum information and entanglement. But it is not. Everything is water, except the water is information. That would be the same sentence with a fashionable noun, and it is the error almost every popular account of this material makes. So, plainly, take two coins and prepare them by a specific physical procedure so that they are guaranteed to disagree. Whenever one comes up heads, the other is tails. Separate them by a galaxy. Flip. Each one alone lands heads about half the time and looks like noise. The pair is not noise. Learn one and you instantly know the other. So where does the fact of their disagreement live? Not in the first coin, not in the second. It lives in the relationship between them and nowhere else. That is entanglement, measured in laboratories for decades, Nobel Prize in 2022. Real quantum coins do something stronger than my coins can, and that gap gets an entry of its own. Every substrate on that list was a noun. Entanglement is not a noun, it is a between. To say the world is relational is to say there is no answer of Thales' kind. The bottom, if there is one, is a structure of relationships. And a relationship is not a thing you can hold in your hand, he asked. Which stuff? And it took us 26 centuries to find out that the question has no stuff-shaped answer. So we keep his question and we carry his furniture out of the room. He was wrong in exactly the right way. That is a considerable thing to be,